Hi, my name is Amit. I'm here with Simone, and we're going to look at the scissors, which is a challenging exercise. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate a little thing for you guys. I say little thing, but it could be quite difficult for some people, and that's the position of the pelvis. Okay, so the pelvis is resting in your hands, and some schools will ask you to try and get the pelvis, if you try to just look at my pelvis, to be slightly tilted towards you. Other schools will just leave it right in the middle, and other schools like Bazi will actually encourage you to try and get the pelvis to sit all the way in your hands. And this difference of where your pelvis is, like I'm demonstrating now, is going to have a big effect on where the legs are in space. Because when the pelvis is away from you, the legs can reach further away. But if the pelvis tilts towards me, then it appears like my leg is not going as far out. Okay? So for this exercise, we're going to keep, for today, we're just going to keep the pelvis centered. Okay, and do the scissors. And when we do the bicycle in another clip that you may want to watch, we're going to look at both variations. Okay, so why don't you curl over? Good. Bend your knees. Yeah, a little bit more. And first of all, try to get a sense that you are lifting the weight of the pelvis. So it is resting in the hands, okay, but it's not a strain into your wrists and your elbows and shoulders. Okay, your trunk muscles are working to lift the pelvis up, like in the jackknife or the rollover. Okay, you're going to stretch the legs up. Good. And then as you exhale, open into the scissors. And we're going to do a double pulse. And try to take the leg as far away from you as you can, and this one towards you as much as you can, and double pulse. Inhale, center. Exhale, double pulse. Center, double pulse. And double pulse. And center, bend your knees to your chest, and rest for a second. Okay, so put the arms down and just rest for a second. Now, if you're observing carefully, Simone, you may have seen that the pelvis has dropped. The moment you started doing this beautiful leg action, actually I saw the pelvis sinking down into the body. So let's do the leg action, which for you would come very naturally. Yeah. Okay, but focus much more on the lift of the trunk. Otherwise, it's a big strain that goes right into your neck. So when you're ready, just curl over. Support yourself, stretch your legs up, and as you do the scissors, just talk to yourself and think, I'm lifting my pelvis. So think pelvis up, beautiful. Pelvis up, do you feel the difference? Yeah. And pelvis up, good, and pelvis up. Now try to do the pulse as if it's more just in the legs and not in the whole body. And just between the legs, good, and between the legs, and between the legs, and back to center. Bend your knees and rest down. Good, and you can just stay there for a second, and let me just say one more thing here. When you do such a big action with the legs, and you aim for opening the legs as wide as you can, you may lose the alignment of the legs, and it almost feels like the pelvis splays into two parts. Try to keep the pelvis very tight together, the sits bones holding close together, and keep the alignment of the legs, because what happens is the leg that goes away from you, if I will just demonstrate, will tend to go out this way to avoid a stretch to the hip flexors. Okay, it goes this way, and the other leg that goes up will tend to hike. Okay, so try to keep the sits bones together and keep the parallel alignment of the legs as much as you can, and not allow this to open. All right, difficult exercise, the scissors.